What's up, Internet? Corey Zamey, you're here collecting with Corey. I believe I'm live. I think. Oh, there's an ad going on the video, so it looks like I am live. I don't know if anybody's in chat yet. I don't believe I have anybody in chat yet, but I'm going to do a little bit of an explanation that I think the thumbnail should explain on here. Went to the flea market this morning, as usual, for a weekend. Happened to be walking past the booth as he was bringing out this backpack full of games. A few of them really good titles. Decided to pick it up pretty much sight unseen. Asked him how much he would do for the entire bag. He wanted me to make an offer. I probably left about $10 on the table in the negotiation process because I said 70, and he asked if I would do 90. And obviously you're thinking like, say 80, meet in the middle. But I just paid him 90 because I had it on me. And based on the few titles I saw, it was definitely worth it. I don't know if this is working right. Let me unmute myself for a second. Maybe I can find out if my sound's okay on my own. Yeah, it's there. All right. So I guess I'll start with what I found yesterday and the games I was picking through that kind of caused this whole pickup to happen. Yesterday, went to the flea market, very cold, very few vendors. Picked up one video game related item. We got Sega All-Stars Racing. Oh, my lighting's really bright here. Sega All-Stars Racing Knuckles. It's a little die-cast figure, collectible. Picked it up to resell. Box is not in the best condition. A little dented in on the bottom, which is kind of hard to see. But I picked it up for $3. Has no comps whatsoever on the internet, so like no one's selling these, and who knows if anybody's interested in it. But for $3, I figured I'd risk it. I went all the way to the flea market yesterday. That's all I found. And like I said, there was a bunch of games at another booth that were priced very well, to the point where I couldn't really pass them by. He had a whole bin. I asked him how much for the games. He said 3 for $5 or $2 each. And at 3 for $5, that's pretty good standard deal. Usually people are asking like $3 or 2 for $5, so 3 for $5 is really good. When I was at the booth, I was actually thinking like I'm wasting too much time here. A lot of the stuff they had was like really scratched up. I just got a message from Rob Mitchell. Like I said, a lot of the stuff they had was really scratched up, so I was trying to find stuff that was at least worth it. And you had to find 6 games because I was already at 4, so I need to find 2 more, and that took me quite a while. The first few games I picked up, we got Lego Batman 3 Beyond Gotham for the PS3. It has this dude's name written on it. Shout out to Mason Russell. Shout out to you. And like I said, 3 for $5. Picked up Xbox Platinum Hits Spider-Man 2. And I checked these. They're all in pretty good shape. A lot of his games were not. Still don't know if I have anybody watching live. It's not like... Here we go. Nope. Still doesn't show me if anybody's watching live. I mean, I did just kind of do this at the drop of a hat. I just wanted to do a live show mainly because I'm 3 videos behind at this point as far as like editing, and I'd rather get this out than just adding a 4th video to that stack. I also picked up Skate 3 Greatest Hits for the PS3. Good shape. And then I had in my hand Gallop Racer 2001, also from one Mason Russell. And the thing with Gallop Racer is I know back in the day like maybe 4 or 5 years ago. One of them was like pretty expensive on the PS2. I don't know why, probably just because of rarity and for people that are collecting for the system, but picked it up because I figured Gallop Racer is one of those titles that could have some value. I didn't stand there and look things up. For those of you who watch him, I know Gamers Manuel was also at the flea market this morning, so I didn't want to spend too much time. I already felt like I spent way too much time at that one booth. Also picked up Burnout Revenge, complete. And the last game, this one he actually just tossed into the box as I was looking through it, and it really helped me out because I was finding scratch game. And this is a Game Boy Advance title, so I don't have to worry about scratches. I don't know if I have it. I don't know if I want to keep it. Rayman 3. Don't know too much about it. I know I've had Rayman 3 on the PS2, but the games before Origins, questionable in quality, I feel. So, who knows? So, I don't really understand. I feel like there are people watching me, but they're not commenting. Is anybody watching right now? Leave a comment in the chat if you're able to. I am not seeing any comments so far, but it says I have 7 people watching. Oh, there we go. There we go. Finally seeing some comments there. We got K Cho Pickups, Lead Paint Chips 1. I'm watching. Thank you guys for watching. Now, hopefully you guys were here for the story. Otherwise, I'll recap really quick. Got to this guy's booth. He had a bunch of carded action figures on his table. And as I was walking by, I hesitated a bit because I'm kind of interested in action figures, kind of not if they're carded. Like, I'd rather have them loose if I'm going to collect them or if I'm going to sell them, to be honest. I feel like I do a lot better with just loose action figure lots than I do picking up individual carded figures, but that's just me. He's bringing out a bag, this bag here, and it's full of what I could see as Sega Genesis titles. And he had some decent ones in there, so I kind of took like a cursory glance through what he had. And after I saw a certain amount of titles, I was just like, well, let me get the whole bag, and we'll see how we do. So I'm just going to pull things out, not so much at random. I haven't looked through this, to be honest with you. So first up, we have Captain America and the Avengers. This one I knew was in there. It is cartridge, no manual. Good shape. I don't believe I have this. I have my Genesis collection right here, so I could even see. I don't have this, so this one is going to be for the collection, very likely. I'm just going to move this down here so I can stack the games here. Try and put it in view for you guys so you can see what we have. Genesis, The Lion King, cartridge only. I think it's in a weird EA sports case or something. The holder is kind of weird there. We have Sonic 2, cartridge only in there, good shape. Another Sonic 2, once again, cartridge only. Bulls versus Lakers in the NBA playoffs. Whoa. Cartridge down. Right, cartridge, no manual. And doesn't even fit. It fits, but it's not going to stay in there. All right, we have our first faceless cartridge here. Let's see what we have in here. Oh, wah, wah. NFL 95, not exactly a killer title there. Then you got Madden 95. This one has a spoiler on it. I don't know if you can read it there. It's too bright. Sonic Spinball. Let's see if that's what's actually in here. This rental case. Sonic Spinball. It's a cracked rental case. That doesn't hold the cartridge. Wonderful. Old, I think this would be an old Blockbuster rental case. Too bad it's not in better shape. Next up, we have a Jurassic Park that is missing the front and has a rental sticker on it, so that was probably a rental, and they probably ripped the front off of this for their rental case. Trying to pick through and grab like the faceless ones and the mediocre titles first. Nope, this one. I've never heard of this game, I don't believe. G-Lock. Oh, it's not even on screen. There we go. G-Lock Air Battle. Let me know in the comments if that's any good. Probably a shooter. A little bit of a rattle in there. Hopefully nothing serious. WWF Royal Rumble. Loose cartridge. All right, well, here's one of the heavy hitters in there. Toe Jam and Earl. This was one of the games I saw him pull out first, and when he pulled out this game, I actually had asked him how much for each individual game, and he started talking about how these were going for a lot online and locally, so you'd have to get at least $10 for this, and at that point, I knew I was in. I knew I wanted at least this, if not everything. So Toe Jam and Earl, at least worth like $30. This might actually be a art insert upgrade for me. It is missing the manual, and there is a little bit of a nick on the label right there, so I don't know if that would be an upgrade at all. But Toe Jam and Earl, great game for the Sega Genesis. I'm trying to do this in order, so I'm pulling out more Sega Genesis games. Oh shit, I didn't know this was in there. I don't actually know what this is worth. We got Shining Force 2. I've had this complete for the Sega Genesis for quite some time, so I actually have no idea what it's worth because I've been holding on to it. We got Shining Force 2 right there. Another loose cartridge. Sega Sports Primetime Football. Oh, cool. I didn't know this was on the Genesis. Double Dragon 3, the arcade game. Loose cartridge, could be in better shape. Oh shoot, I just saw something. This is sweet. Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Cartridge, no manual. Label, like a 6 out of 10. Got some peeling and fading right there. I'm just checking. We have 10 people in the chat. It looks like 9 people in the chat, something like that. And it won't tell me who is in here. Like when I click the participants, it shows me nothing. Whether I switch to live chat or top chat, I don't really know what the difference is. I think live chat is better, so you can see all the messages. Yeah, it doesn't show me who's watching. I know K Cho is here. He just said, love that game. Prefer it for the Super Nintendo, which I agree. I had the Super Nintendo version. Well, actually, I didn't have the Super Nintendo version. My friend did, and we played the hell out of the game. And I was sure to get this very early into collecting for the Super Nintendo. Thought everything was coming down. All right, so we got a handful of games in here. I'm going to finish up on the Sega Genesis titles, and we're going to move over to the N64, which I don't even know if I mentioned was in here. Oh, I didn't know this was in here. Pirates Gold. Don't know anything about that. I think the Pirates series is some sort of strategy series, but I could be wrong. And you got Hard Drivin'. Hard Drivin'. Loose cartridge. Just going to keep moving this Shining Force 2 to the front here. because it's a little bit better than all the other loose cartridge games that we have so far. Alright, looks like there's not that many killer titles left in here. Oh, wait! Streets of Rage 2. Please be in there. Thank you, it's in there. Did not have... I got a comment from Gamers Manuel himself. I've never seen that guy there. Took forever to set up. Congratulations. Thank you, Manuel. I was actually looking for you after I got the pickup because I knew I'd seen you like as I got there, so I figured you'd been around, but I guess you might have taken off. Streets of Rage 2. Do I have it? I fucking have it already. I have it already, but we'll see if this is a condition upgrade. But Streets of Rage 2. I think out of the titles I have out here, the only ones I knew were in there when I bought the bag was Captain America, Toe Jam and Earl, Streets of Rage 2, and a couple of these N64 titles, which I'll actually be leaving for last because they're the best games in there. What the hell is this? We got a bouncy ball. A bouncy ball. Random. N64 wrestling game. WCW Mayhem. Not one of the better titles from what I've heard. NHL Breakaway 98. Who's that? Keith Kachuk on there? Used to be a Phoenix Coyotes fan. I think that's Keith Kachuk. NFL Quarterback Club 99. I swear. I didn't know how my lighting was going to go, and I barely figured out how to do the stream because it's been a while. Oh. We got some pins in here. I don't know what this is. We got a Refugees Welcome, irisct.org. Not sponsored by them. Oh, I'm not pulling that out. We have a dried ziti in this bag. A dried ziti. One piece of dried ziti. GoldenEye 64, Player's Choice. This was one of the titles I saw when I opened the bag and why I wanted to pick everything up. As it's turning out, it might have actually been more advantageous for me to just buy and like cherry pick the games if he was going to do like $10 for like a chase title. I might have gotten away with saving a little bit of money, but I'm okay with buying everything, and it's mostly going to be recoupers, but got GoldenEye 64, and the last game I knew about, Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. A little bit of fading on the label, but not too bad. So that was all $90 at the flea market. Like I said before, I probably could have gotten it for, I just said, Gamers Manuel asked how much was it. I probably could have gotten it for $80. I kind of had a newbie haggling situation there where I said $70, he said $90, and I had $90 in my hand at the time, so I handed it over. I probably could have got it for $80 at the very least. But let me know how your pickups have been going for you. Like the video, subscribe if you're new, and as always, keep it real, Internet. I love you guys.